Hey everyone! Welcome to this video. So this is part 3 of our Intro to Yoga series. So in part 1, we focused on sun salutation, started to break down kind of what yoga is and kind of get into it that way. Part 2, we kind of continued on that spectrum, adding on to our sun salutations. And so this time, part 3, we're gonna add on yet again. So we're gonna do a little bit of sun salutations, less than we did in part 1 and 2. We're gonna add in some balancing postures, and at the beginning of this one, I wanna focus on our breath. So if you remember from our other few videos, here are some key learnings as you're thinking about this practice. So number 1, your body and my body are totally different. Everybody's bodies are different, so make sure you're listening to yours. Your pose might look different, feel different than the way that I'm teaching, the way that I look, or anything like that. So I want you to really focus on you, and I want you to modify the pace and the speed and any other modifications you need to really make this about you. The second thing is breathe. One of the most powerful pieces with yoga is about your breath. So make sure you're breathing, focus on the breath, breathe through any tension, and when you're ready, let's get started. So when you're ready, I want you to find any comfortable seated position. So whatever that means to you, maybe it's cross-legged, maybe it's on your shins. If you want to grab a chair or a stool, or if you've got a pillow that maybe you want to put underneath. What I want to do is we're just going to spend the first little bit just kind of getting here, getting grounded. We'll get connected to the breath, and then we'll start to flow. So I want you to just ground your seat bones into the ground, into the floor, into the chair. I want you to try and see if you can straighten out your spine, see if you can maybe just have like a minor kind of firing of the core going on here. See if you can feel everything kind of stacked. So you want kind of your shoulders and everything to feel like it's in one straight line. You might want to put your hands on your knees. Just find something, and I want you to start digging internally, maybe closing your eyes here. Just kind of noticing what this stillness might feel like. Taking a few breaths at your pace before we do this together. Take a moment just to think about where your brain's at. Is it really active right now? Is it a bit of a monkey brain? Are you thinking about what your day is gonna be like? Or maybe something that's already happened in the day? Are you thinking about the future? Maybe what's happening tomorrow, this weekend, next week, next month? Are you thinking about something that may have happened already in the past? I want you to just take a moment and take whatever it is you're thinking about and see if you can just set it aside. See if you can just take this little bit of time just for you. It can be really, really hard to quiet that monkey brain. So just getting settled, and try to come back to the breath. It's so normal, especially in yoga, as being a bit of a moving meditation, that you might keep kind of coming back to whatever it is you're thinking about. Don't get upset, just recognize it and see if you can refocus yourself on the breath. So when you're ready, let's breathe in together through the nose and let it go through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right. From here, slowly opening up the eyes, and let's get started. So I know the past two we kind of jumped right into sun salutations. So this time we're gonna go through cat and cow. So this might be a little bit funny if you've never done it before, so just do your best, try to listen to the cues. And again, sometimes it's gonna take hearing those cues multiple times for multiple months, for multiple years to really, for them to really resonate. So, if they're not, then just, let it go and just, find a movement that feels good for you. So for cat and cow, we're gonna come into tabletop position. So the first thing I want you to worry about is your palm. So we talked about this in some of the previous ones. So make sure you've got a nice wide palm here, index fingers pointing forward. In terms of spacing on the mat, my hands are pretty far apart, as you can see. So it might be kind of far apart. I want your shoulders to be stacked over, and it's just gonna be just a little bit outwards. So it's gonna help you have a nice base here. From here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna inhale to cow, sort of concaving the spine, bringing that belly towards the ground and looking up. Feeling a little bit of a bend here in the spine. And on the exhale, we're going to curve the spine coming into cat. So having a nice round spine, puffing the chest, puffing the back, really putting some weight into the hands here. Core's fired up. And on the inhale, looking up, back into cow. Exhale, back to cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale. Continuing on here a couple times at your own pace. Just seeing what this feels like. Just breathing here. Inhale. And exhaling. We'll do one more here. And when you're ready, let's come into our first downward dog. So, nice deep bend in the knees, getting those hips nice and high, pressing into those hands, shoulders are active. Just keep a nice bend here. If you're feeling like this is, you can progress a little bit, maybe start straightening those legs, get those heels closer towards the floor. But again, no pressure. Feel free to keep a nice bent knee in the whole class. I'm gonna keep my knees bent. So if you wanna kind of progress, then feel free to just do that on your own. Now from here, we're going to just bring the heels down, straightening one leg at a time, starting to feel some more movement here in the body, waking everything up, going at your own pace. Remembering to breathe, coming back to the breath. And when you're ready, we're gonna do one Sun Salutation A. We're gonna go nice and slow. So stepping to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, palms coming to center, hanging out here in mountain pose. Coming back to the breath. Inhale. Let it go, exhale. One more here, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, folding over the legs, grabbing those elbows. Nice bend in the knees here, releasing that lower back. And just breathing here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. From here, palms coming to the ground. Again, feel free to have nice deep bend so that you can get the palms on the ground. Inhale, flat back, look up. And exhale, stepping or hopping all the way back. Bringing those knees to the mat. Feel free to take the knees off if you feel like that's something that's working for you. Elbows coming tight into the body and coming into cobra. Feeling this in your spine. Thighs are still on the mat. Feel free to upgrade to an upward dog if that's something that you're comfortable with. And then rolling over the feet into your downward dog. Hanging out here, breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, stepping again, top of the mat. Inhale, arms all the way up. And exhale, palms coming down, back into mountain pose. Hanging out here just for 2 breaths. As you do that, I'm going to talk you through part of the next sequence. So last time we did 2 sun salutation A's. This time we're just doing 1 sun salutation A. We're going to do a modified sun salutation B. And then we're going to have some fun doing some balancing postures, just introducing you to a few other new postures to play with and to enjoy and just see how that works. So staying here in your mountain pose, let's find our chair pose. So nice bend in the knees, maybe scraping the fingertips on the ground. Bring those hands up, nice active palms here, palms facing each other, looking up, tucking that tailbone, core's tight. Breathing here, see if you can get that seat even a little bit lower. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and folding over the legs. Exhale, grabbing those elbows, deep bend in the knees. Again, holding here, 2 breaths. Let that head hang. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Palms coming to the mat, stepping or hopping, knees coming to the ground. Chaturanga. Inhale to cobra. And over the toes, downward dog. 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, right leg lifts, 3-legged dog. Stepping to the top of the mat, pivoting that back foot. And we're gonna come into our warrior 1. So if you remember, I want you to try to modify this back leg here. 1, so that you can activate it, and 2, so that you can try and get both of these hips pointing straight ahead. So you might need to go wider out. This is gonna be really personal for you. So just playing around here, seeing what feels good, moving that leg, and then finally finding that pose. Keep that front knee bent, back knee is nice and strong, arms coming up, and then finally bringing the upper body straight forward. So seeing what this feels like. If warrior 1's really not working for you, then just come into high lunge instead. So high lunge, you're on your toes, and no, sort of the heel's not on the ground. So always feel free, you can always do that modification. So finding whichever one you'd like, and let's hold here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Palms are coming to the mat. Bring that foot back, knees coming down. Chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog or cobra. And finally, coming into your downward dog. hanging out here. 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, this time left leg lifts, stepping it to the top of the mat, pivoting that back foot, coming up. Again, same thing, play around here. Deep bend in the front. See if you can get both hips facing forward, activating that back leg. And again, option if this really isn't feeling good, just come into high lunge instead. So whatever your variation is, getting nice and strong into the pose, back leg strong, front leg strong, arms are active, hips are pointing forward. Hanging out here, 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Palms coming to the mat, bringing that foot back, knees coming down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog and back into downward dog. 3 breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, stepping top of the mat and chair pose. Grazing those fingers, bring that seat down. Nice active arms here, looking up. Core's tight, pelvic bones tucked, and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Coming all the way to standing. Palms coming down, back into mountain pose. So hopefully feeling a little bit warmer now in the body. Just breathing, palms are here. Let's connect back to the breath. Inhale. Let it go through the mouth. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. All right. From here, we're gonna play with some balancing postures. So I'm gonna step to the middle of my mat here just so you can see me a little bit better, but you'll be at the top of your mat or wherever you wanna be. So from here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into tree pose. So tree pose is a nice, fun, balancing posture, especially if you're kind of new to yoga. This one's really fun. So the first thing I want you to think about is, so in yoga, there are a lot of balancing postures. And so especially when you're standing, it's really important to kind of set that foundation so that you can, build on your balance and make sure that you're activating enough muscles and sort of the rest of your body so that you can actually balance, because it's good to have a good foundation. So much like your hands, when we talked about having a nice wide palm, I want you to do the same thing with your foot. So I want you to think about spreading your toes and placing that foot. So we're gonna work with the left foot first, is nicely planted in the ground. Now you'll have a little bit of a micro bend here in the leg, which you're gonna stand on, and that's what's gonna sort of be your foundation, okay? So we've brought the toes spread apart. Again, nice heel, like you should feel kind of like the 4 corners of your feet should be nicely pressed into the mat. And then from here, micro bend in the knee. And then what we're gonna do is a couple different variations. So variation 1 is right toes are still on the mat, just kind of lifted here, or maybe even like this with the toes sort of, still on the mat, just a little bit less. This might be option 1 in terms of where your feet are. Okay, option 2 is you'll go a little bit higher onto your ankle and have this knee pressed over to the side. Okay, so that's option 2. Option 3 is maybe you're gonna use your hand to help you get here and bringing that foot all the way to the upper thigh. So pressing that foot into the thigh, same thing with if you're at the ankle, using the two to connect to each other. By pressing into each other, that'll help you have this sort of straight line. It'll give you a lot more stability. From here, a couple different arm variations. So either coming into prayer, can come into arms up ahead here, or arms wide. Can even put the palms together up here. So I want you to just find something that's working for you today. I'm gonna go with this one, arms up and wide like a tree. And if you fall out of this pose, just don't worry about it. You can see right now, I'm even shaking a little bit. I'm not that stable. It means my balance is a little off today. And if my balance is off, yours might be too. So just, laugh it off, have fun with it, and just meet back in the posture. We'll hang out here for another 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, slowly, with control, trying to get that foot back to meet the other one. Now, maybe just play here. Just let the 2 legs or the heels come up and down to just release it a little bit. Maybe what we'll do is we'll just flow that one out, get rid of all the energy from that one, and then we'll go onto the other side. All right, so arms are coming up, inhale, and folding over the legs, grabbing those elbows, folding here, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, look up, flat back, and palms coming to the mat, stepping all the way back, knees coming to the mat, hugging those elbows in, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog. And rolling over the legs, downward dog. Breathing here, 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Stepping to the top of the mat, inhale, arms up, and exhale, palms coming down, mountain pose. Just breathing here, 2 breaths, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, so let's go on to the other side. So this time the right foot's the foundation. So again, we're gonna widen those toes, planting the heel, and try to get the 4 corners of your foot onto the mat. So again, that's gonna set your foundation, help you with your stability, little micro bend here in the knee. And then from here, a couple different variations. So you can either keep the toes on the floor, maybe with a little bit more of the ball of the foot, maybe with the toes just grazing the floor, maybe the foot's coming to the ankle, pressing into the ankle and the foot. Or third variation is bringing that foot to the thigh. The biggest thing here is you just don't want the foot on the knee. That's going to be really terrible for your knee. So as long as you're either above or below the knee, that's totally fine. So pressing in here, and then finally let's go with our arms. So take the same variation that you did on the other side. I had my arms out here like a forest, like a tree. So I'm gonna keep with this one. And you can see that, the stabilizer muscles work. So you can kind of see my legs shaking. I might be pressing a little bit in with the foot. I might be pressing a little bit out. So over time, you might have more stability, just depending on what your body's feeling like. But it's normal to have some movement while you're here. So just have fun with it. 2 breaths here. Again, if you fall out, just meet us back in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, slowly bringing that foot with control down to meet the other one. And again, just moving those heels, get those legs moving a little bit. All right. So what we're gonna do is start winding it down. We'll do one more flow, and then we will go into our fold, our back bend, and then close out the practice. So coming back to the top of the mat, inhale, arms up, and folding over the legs, grabbing those elbows, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, look up, flat back, and stepping all the way to the back. Knees maybe coming down, chaturanga. Inhale to upward dog or cobra, and exhale, downward dog. Last downward dog of the class, so enjoy it here. Just breathe. Option here, maybe bringing the toes together into a pigeon-toed downward dog and just seeing what changing the toe placement might feel like. You can still have the knees bent here, so just breathing wherever you are. Inhale. And exhale. Pressing your hands into the mat. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, coming onto your knees, and we're gonna try a little bit of a different back bend today. So if you'd like to do bridge pose instead, feel free to go ahead and do that. We're gonna go into camel today. So camel, I'll just quickly show you what it kind of looks like. We're just gonna do the first variation. We're not gonna go too far. So we'll just see how this looks like. I'll walk you guys through it in a sec, but just so you get a sense of what it looks like. So from here, pushing hands into the back and looking back. That's all we're gonna do today. We're gonna do 2 variations of that. So coming onto your knees, your heels or your feet can either be like flat or you can tuck the toes, it doesn't matter. From here, what we're gonna do is take the palms behind. They're gonna be sort of right in the lower back. Thumbs are gonna tuck in and elbows are gonna tuck in. So this is gonna offer a little bit of support into the lower back. What I want you to do here is tighten up the core, and I want you to tuck the pelvic area, tuck that bone. That's gonna help protect your lower back as well and keep everything fired up. So again, keeping the hands placed below on the lower back. Then slowly, what I want you to do is start kind of back bending, sort of bending a little bit by pushing your lower back into your hands, creating a bit of a bend here. Just take this as feels good. I don't want you to go super fast, just go nice and slow. If you just come into this a little bit today, then that's totally fine. We're gonna do 2 rounds. And then last thing, as you're sort of bending back here, and see if you can tuck in those elbows. That will offer you a little bit more support as well. Maybe letting your head hang too. Maybe even gazing behind you. So just breathing here, take this at your own pace. 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. From here, we're gonna come into child's pose. Spreading those knees, coming down here, foreheads coming to the mat. Letting the elbows come onto the mat as well. Just breathing. Just offsetting that back bend. We're gonna do 1 more. So just letting it go. Get nice and grounded here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, coming back onto the shins. Let's try that back bend one more time. All right, so again, option to go into bridge if you like that one instead. And then from here, what we're gonna do is, again, doesn't matter, you can tuck or untuck, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna be untucked, hands are gonna come back. See if you can activate your thighs here as well. Maybe imagine that there's a block between your thighs. If you have a block or something like that, feel free to put it there. You can even put a pillow, just to remind you to kind of keep your legs strong in this as well. Fingers are pointing down, elbows coming in, and then slowly dipping your weight into your hands. Again, maybe looking behind you. Just take this as slow as you want. Breathing here, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Coming back up to center. And again, let's come into child's pose. Bring that forehead onto the mat, elbows coming onto the mat, and feeling that release in your lower back. So just breathing here, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right, coming back to seated, we're gonna do one fold. So for our fold, we're gonna bring our feet together. We're gonna try and bring those heels close into the body. And I want you to try and keep a nice flat back here. So from here, you can use your hands holding on to the ankles, maybe even trying to sort of open the toes here, open the feet like a book, but keep your heels pressed together. From here, depending on how high your legs are, you might kind of use your elbows to help sort of open up those legs. And again, trying to keep a nice flat back, looking over and probably about maybe 1 or 2 feet ahead of your feet. So just breathing here. We're gonna hang out here for 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. All right. Coming onto our backs now, hugging in those knees, just breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're gonna do a twist on each side and then that's it. So from here, I want you to bring your hands out to a T. If you don't have enough space, maybe creating sort of cactus arms with a little bit of a bend. And I want you to bring the knees all the way over to the left. Nice and slow with control. And then see if you can get your right shoulder onto the ground. And maybe even looking over to your right hand side. Hanging out here, 3 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. From here, bringing those knees back to center, and we're gonna bring them over to the right hand side. Maybe looking over to the left, and again, seeing if you can get the left shoulder onto the mat. So just breathing here, inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Bring those knees back into center, hugging them in. Inhale. And exhale. Coming into our final pose, Shavasana. For Shavasana, you can have the legs nice and wide. You can go back to that diamond shape, or you might even consider, if you've got a window or a wall or something like that, maybe you want to just put your legs up on the wall and just kind of go into a bit of an inverted pose. So depending on how you're feeling, if you need a little bit more grounding, maybe you're going to have your hands on your belly, maybe a little bit on your chest. Maybe if you want to receive energy, you're going to have open palms. Or again, if you need to feel grounded, maybe the palms are coming onto the ground. All right, so just breathing here, feeling nice and heavy. See if you can completely melt into the mat. Breathing through this. Let's do 3 breaths together. Inhale. Let it go. Exhale. Inhale. Let it go. Last one. Inhale. Let it go. Continuing on here at your own pace. Noticing your mind. See if you're able to, if you're thinking about anything, see if you can just keep coming back to your breath. Take these last few moments of stillness. Sometimes this can be the hardest pose that we do. It's hard to calm that monkey mind. It's hard to just be, to sit in the stillness. So just do what you can. Be super compassionate with yourself. And breathe. And when you're ready, slowly start moving your fingers, move your toes. Come into a nice long body stretch, stretching in opposite directions. And then coming over to any side, using that arm as a little bit of a pillow. Taking another breath right here. And when you're ready, let's come back into seated pose. Any seated pose is fine. We're going to take 3 breaths together to close out the practice. Nice flat back. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale. And let it go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Thank yourself for taking some time out for yourself and for learning something new. Yoga can be quite challenging to learn and to pick up. So just thank yourself for making the time to be here. Be compassionate for where you are. And namaste. All right, that's it. So we just finished part 3 of our intro to yoga series. So I think that, if you've gone through these 3, I think that you're ready to do any beginner yoga. You know, you can keep doing these ones as many times as you like if you're enjoying them, but otherwise, I think you're ready. So you're ready to join the world of beginner yoga and kind of get used to some different types and different styles, but hopefully that was a good little introduction into getting started with yoga. Hopefully it is less scary than you thought it was, and just remember, listen to your body, number one, and number two, breathe. Everything that happens in between doesn't really matter. You'll figure it out, you'll learn, and most of all, just have fun. So thank you so much if you've watched this whole series. If you're just tuning in now, it may be beneficial to check out part 1 and 2. However, if you got through this one and you were fine, then maybe you're good to just kind of continue with beginner yoga. So as always, I really do love hearing from you. So please let me know what you thought about this in the comments. Let me know if you've got any feedback or any requests for anything that you want to do a little bit deeper. If there's any poses or anything that you have questions on, also feel free to post that. It may be something that I'll eventually turn into another video. So please let me know. I love to hear from you. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button with the bell notification so you don't miss any of the videos that we post. And again, thank you so much for being here, and yeah, I think that's it. So, we are on Instagram, TikTok, and we have a website. So Instagram and the website are movewithjen.ca. TikTok is just Move with Jen. So definitely check those out. We're always posting on there. And till next time, I'll see you later. Bye, everyone.